the 20, the 10.
Touchdown!
Hello, Candace.
Not you again.
Me again. Remember our last oil change?
Ugh.
Your boyfriend said he knew a guy who knew a guy. None of those guys knew what they were doing, including you, Todd.
Silence your oil change anxiety at Valvoline Instant Oil Change, where you can watch our experts change your oil right from your car.
Thanks for coming in.
And finish in about 15 minutes. Valvoline. Service you can see, experts you can trust.
This episode of Tap and Stepp is presented by CoverZero Analytics, the leaders in next-level football data. CoverZero delivers predictive matchup previews, classification-based grading, and customized analysis to football coaches who want more than the same old breakdown of tendencies. With CoverZero, football coaches now have a tool that can measure all aspects of their team's performance. CoverZero is built entirely around smarter data analysis, helping thousands of coaches find winning edges that don't always appear in film study. If you're a football coach looking for an extra advantage, CoverZero invites you to join the hundreds of premier programs that have taken their scouting intel to the next level. Ready to see how the best teams win? Start with CoverZero Analytics. Find out more at CoverZeroAnalytics.com. That's CoverZeroAnalytics.com.
Happy birthday, Tepper.
Wait,
That's right.
is it this one?
By the time people listen to and watch this podcast, this little podcast that could will be 8 years old.
Who'd have thunk it?
Tap and Stepp, your premium Texas high school football podcast from your friends at Dave Campbell's Texas Football and TexasFootball.com. I am the Tep Greg Tepper.
And I'm the Stepp, Matt Stepp.
VNA, do you want to do?
Oh,
And
I'm V&A.
okay.
VNA, VNA,
I was gonna be,
VNA.
you should have been like, and I am the VNA Moreno.
And
or
I'm
something
the
like
V.
Yeah.
I'm the boss.
I'm the
VNA
V in
Moreno.
V&A.
She does put the V in VNA. We're here.
It feels like we just left.
Thank you for being a Dave Campbell's Texas football consumer.
Woohoo!
Hey,
We love you. We love our subscribers.
we love you. If you're a subscriber, we love you more than the people who don't. That's a fact. I know who our subscribers are, and I assign them more of my heart than the non-subscribers.
You're all our children, but we love those children more.
I have favorite children. That's what we're saying.
Yeah.
But as fathers, we can be
That's right.
honest and
That's
say we got favorite kids.
Like some kids more than others.
This is one of our favorite children.
6 p.m.
The Class 6A preview edition of Tap and Stepp. The big boys.
Oh, yeah.
The biggest boys,
That's
some
right.
would say.
The largest children.
And we got a big old episode on
This
deck.
is one of our longer episodes of the year.
This is a beefaroni episode
And
here.
it just had to start at 6 p.m.
Well,
you know, listen. when the fraud god is called, he heeds.
Listen. We're off schedule. So pull the curtain back
Yes.
a little bit. We're a little off schedule. We're recording this on Wednesday, August 12th.
Yes.
Because you had a kid thing.
I had a kid thing last night. We had to go to pre-K orientation.
yeah.
Which,
And
like, what are you orienting? They're 4.
Just to meet the teacher, probably, right?
We already had Meet the Teacher.
Oh, well, maybe just see the
What are you
school. They've already seen the school, right?
Whatever.
Reorient?
Yeah.
That's my question.
Yeah.
Anyway.
And I'm on vacation next week, so.
Yes. And so we wanted to get it because last year when we did them remote, they're cool, but like I just missed your scent. So
I have this very
Missed your
masculine,
scent.
musky scent, My pheromones are just.
this is your Class
Pheromone-based
6A
podcast.
preview edition of Tap and Stepp. Coming up here in just a moment, we are doing what no other podcast dares to do because it's a poor marketing decision, and that is going district by district in every 6A district, all 32 of them. We will have that coming up for you shortly. But first, Matthew, we will start as we always do with your Texas high school football fun fact of the week, presented bang by CoverZero Analytics. Now,
These guys.
these guys are ball knowers, and sometimes they're going to tell you things. I'll just tell you this. Sometimes they're going to tell you things you may not want to hear, but you need to hear. Because if you want to take your Texas high school football team or Ohio's high school football team,
They don't discriminate.
No.
We discriminate.
We discriminate.
Yes.
We are discriminatory.
If you are not
against-
from Texas,
we are lukewarm on you.
at best.
Right. But they don't. If you are in Maryland and you want to play, you want to call CoverZero Analytics and take your high school football team to the next level, they'll tell you the truth. You may not like the truth. Mm-hmm. You may not be able to handle the truth, but they're going to give you the truth about what's going on with your team, your opponents, how you can take your team to the next level. They've got their whole a whole stinking AI system too that breaks down tendencies and stuff. Chat CZA, it's crazy.
Sometimes in life we have to hear what we don't want to hear to improve.
Yeah, my wife tells me that a lot.
Brother.
It's CoverZeroAnalytics.com. Let them be your wife telling you to please unload the dishwasher and to put the plates away in the right place, please. Mm-hmm. CoverZeroAnalytics.com. That's a poor copy point.
Why did you wash the colors with the whites?
Yes. CoverZeroAnalytics.com. Give them your business and tell them Tepp and Stepp sent you.
Yes. Tell them Tepp and Stepp sent you.
Matt Stepp, your Texas high school football fun fact of the week. So,
Got it right last week.
According to our records,
Okay.
Last year,
Okay.
Willis quarterback Lincoln Frazier had a heck of a year.
He did have a great year.
He set a state record by throwing for 4,232 yards as a freshman. It's the most passing yards by a freshman in UIL 11-man Texas high school football history, according to our records.
Okay.
Whose record did he break?
That's a good question.
So, who was the previous holder of the freshman single-season passing record in UIL 11-man Texas high school football?
Was it Hunter Lyle from Booker?
It's a great guess. It was not.
Dang it.
The answer, you had to go back a whole 1 year
Oh, man.
to find Hayes Hackney at Prosper Walnut Grove, who threw for 3,671 yards.
Wow. That's a fun fact.
As a freshman. So I want you to think about that. Lincoln Frazier, we'll talk about Willis in today's 6A episode. Mm-hmm. Lincoln Frazier cleared the record by 600 yards.
It's pretty impressive.
He was the second leading passer in the state last year, only behind Angelo Renda at South Lake Carroll. And he was only 22 yards short of him. So
and in one fewer game. Yeah.
No, Lincoln Frazier was a dog last year. And help having some, I'm sure he would say, nice to have Jermaine Bishop out there.
It helps.
And some of the other playmakers have. But
yeah, it helps.
Anyway, Lincoln Frazier back for the Willis Wildcats and part of your Texas high school football fun fact of the week.
All right. That's a good one.
All right, Matthew. We're going to go from, we got our computer rankings here. We're going to go team by team from 249 up to 1.
Okay, first off, let's go.
I don't want to say who's 249. We'll put the computer rankings on the website.
You'll find out.
Next year. You'll find out.
Subscribe and you'll find out.
You will. Let's talk about Class 6A. And obviously, there are some things that are different about Class 6A and why we preview it differently. It's because of the no division split. So in our conversations, one of the reasons why it makes a lot of sense to do district by district is that we can talk about who may go D1, who may go D2, and things like that. All of that is set to say, if you were to take a look at the top 6 teams in the Dave Campbell's Texas football rankings, you would notice a trend. And that trend would be all 6 of those teams are in 2 districts.
Yes. 11-6A and 17-6A.
UIL realignment, I think there were a couple of real big curveballs. One of which we'll get to when we get to District 24 6A. But one of the other curveballs that I think happens that is real low key is the district number changes. Right? I think people who are not Texas high school football nerds may not think about it, but
Sure.
But you're paying attention not just to your district, but who is your by-district bunkmate? And in a lot of instances, including the aforementioned 17-6A, formerly 21-6A, I believe it was?
Yes, 21-6.
21-6A, that's a pretty huge deal. And that's one of the things we're going to talk about a lot over the course of the next 16 hours or so. You will notice at the top of our rankings, and this is something we debated pretty heavily before putting out the magazine, the number one team is not the team that won the 6A Division II state championship last year. They can't be.
They're in 5A.
DeSoto.
Yes, correct.
It's not the team that lost the 6A Division II state championship last year, CE King, although we think very highly of them. And it is neither of the participants in the 6A Division I state championship game a year ago, Duncanville and North Shore and Duncanville, I should say, in that order. It is instead the Waxahachie Indians at number one in Dave Campbell's Texas football.
A controversial pick. It's been talked about quite a bit.
I will just say this.
Bold.
It is bold. Well, you know why it's bold? Because it's easy to just be like Duncanville, North Shore. You know what I mean? Like these teams that are there year in and year out.
Sure.
But I think, from where I sit, we'll talk about Waxahachie when we get to District 11 6A. The talent is...
They have the personnel.
They have the personnel.
They have the personnel.
Yes.
There's no... The difference in personnel between Waxahachie, Duncanville, North Shore last year was they're negligible.
Yes.
I mean, Waxahachie played Duncanville twice, beat them once, lost to them by one score in the fourth round of playoffs.
Yes.
They're right there.
They are right there.
And they bring a lot back.
And they bring a lot back.
They bring a lot back.
There is a lot to get to, Matthew.
I'm excited.
And so let's start way out west.
Oh, yes.
In District 1. Mark the time.
The 915.
It is
6 o'clock on the dot.
6 o'clock on the dot as we talk about diving District 1 6A. Here's the cool thing. No changes to District 1 6A as far as realignment is concerned.
Nope.
This is El Paso. And I also think largely... One of the things that's interesting, though, is that there was, I think from a lot of perspective in El Paso, there was a bit of an exodus of talent. There's a really great 2026 class.
We talked about all the high-level recruits in the city, in all classifications in El Paso, and so a lot of that talent's gone. But I think more things change, the more they stay the same.
I look at the top four from last year, which were, I believe in order, it went Eastwood, Franklin, Pebble Hills, and then Eastlake, I think went out. I think those are the four again. I look at the four district playoff teams, and I think those are the teams. I still like Eastwood, even though they got hit pretty hard by graduation, because I think everyone kind of got hit hard by graduation here.
Yeah, Eastwood still's got Kingston Jeffries at quarterback. They still have a great crop of skill players. I think it's going to come down to their front play again, and that's where it'll, when Eastwood's generally at least able to stalemate it up front, they usually can handle things in El Paso, and they've actually had a little bit of playoff success. They won a by-district game last year, so I think Eastwood probably gets the nod, especially with Pebble Hills, one of their best players transferring late in the offseason. Sophomore tight end Noah Tarrant transferred to a private school in the Metroplex, so he's no longer there. I think Pebble Hills is still the number 2 seed with Jose Fernandez and LJ Bailey. But they got some questions, especially on the defensive side of the ball. And then, Franklin loses a generational running back in the Powers kid, and they lose a really good offensive line. But you got to think, year 2 under Ruben Torres, they'll get a bump there. And I think Eastlake is they've got that guy in Julian Williams at quarterback who's been really, really good. Really good last year. He can take over a game for the Falcons.
I'll tell you this. If I were going to buy some stock in a team outside of those top four, I am interested in a bounce-back year from Montwood. I think the Rams, what they bring back, especially guys like their running back Gene Palmer and a number of the playmakers, need to find a replacement for their quarterback Damian Briano. But I think Montwood, after a tough year last year, I think they are poised for
I've got them as the 5 team right now. The thing is Pebble Hills and Eastlake are the 2 biggest schools in the district. So if you pencil them into the playoffs, you're not going to have a lot of D1, D2 chaos because Pebble Hills and Eastlake will be slotted into that Division I bracket just playing for seeding.
Over to District 2 6A, the Little Southwest Conference, and this is when we get our first kind of UIL realignment surprise. Surprise, maybe. For those who don't know, Wolford Friendship dropping down to 5A left the teams out there, the Midland, Odessa, San Angelo Central kind of conglomerate, with only 5 teams.
Correct.
And in a lot of our mock drafts, a lot of your mock realignment and a lot of mock realignments from across the internet, people were speculating what they were going to do with that. Were they going to lump in a team from the DFW Metroplex?
Kind of thought Alito, Weatherford, Granbury, any up to 1, 2, or 3 of those teams. Right before realignment, there was some buzz that Del Rio could get shifted over there. Which Del Rio to San Angelo is only 2.5 hours,
which by standards of this district is pretty small.
Yeah, you start getting Del Rio to Midland, Odessa, and it gets to be 4.5 hours, and not the best roads, and so that's a little dicey. But in the end, the UIL I think kind of went chalk here and just kept the 5. And I think this is a 2-year thing. I think in the next realignment, if not both friendship schools, one of them will probably be 6A, so that the problem
will solve itself.
Correct, because for these schools, finding 6 non-district games was really tough. I think they all did, but it was. I think San Angelo Central's playing Midland Greenwood. Yeah, they had to kind of scramble just to find a game.
As far as the way this district breaks down this year, last year Odessa Permian was, in my opinion, head and shoulders the best team in this district.
Went to the third. Permian was a third-round playoff team last year, so give Mojo some credit.
Yeah,
here.
They bring back their quarterback this year.
13 starters back.
Yeah, 13 starters. I think they're the team to beat. Unsurprisingly, I think Midland Lee. Yes, they're Midland Lee again. Midland Lee is probably nipping at their heels as the 2 seed.
Yeah, that's a game. If you wanted to see quintessential Texas high school football rivalry, Permian and Midland Lee is one of the best rivalries out there when those two get together, and Clint Hartman always makes it spicy.
Oh yeah,
he finds a way to make it spicy, and it's a tough non-district slate. I agree. I think Midland Lee and Permian are the top 2 teams. I have Permian the edge. I think things get really intriguing after that, especially because 4 of these 5 teams are making the playoffs, and I think after that it gets a little bit dicey. I think I would give the edge to San Angelo Central for the 3.
Yeah, but I think
8-4 last year. Mark Smith did a great. They have Micah Smith back at quarterback, Xavion Johnson at running back. I think San Angelo is pretty solidly locked into that 3 seed, but that 4th playoff spot.
Let me tell you, I think Odessa is going to be better this year. I think they're going to be better.
They should. Now, one of their best players transferred as well. Their all-state tight end, Colby Baldonado, transferred to Midland Christian. That's a big hit for Odessa High. Here's the interesting thing. Midland graduated really heavy. They're going to be super, super young. I think they're changing their offense a little bit, going to a little bit more wide-open offense. Here's the thing to watch in this district, okay? If Odessa gets into the playoffs, it most likely pushes Midland Lee into the Division II bracket. If Odessa misses the playoffs, Midland Lee, being the 3rd largest school in the district, will be in Division I. The 2 Odessa schools are the 2 biggest schools. Permian and Odessa High are the 2 biggest schools. So if Odessa gets in, Midland Lee goes D2. If Odessa misses the playoffs, Midland Lee goes D1.
Keep an eye on that as we progress through.
I got Midland 4th, though. I got Midland getting
I think Midland is the pick there for 4th as well. Over to District 3. And again, another question of realignment of what was going to happen to, I think, the most high-profile 6A edition ever. Like the most maybe this side of Highland Park, the most anticipated 6A debut in state history is the Alito Bearcats.
Because when South Lake Carroll first went to 6A, they hadn't gone on their run yet.
Yeah.
They won their first 6A title, old 5A.
Old 5A, yes.
6A debut. I think you're right. I don't think there has been a higher profile,
as
more pedigreed program than Alito.
Now, I will say this. And so Alito, we knew they were moving up. When Snapshot Day came up, they were pretty comfortably in 6A.
Yeah, we all thought last realignment Alito was going to go up, and they missed it barely. Yeah. And so we kind of knew, okay, they're not going to miss it.
It's growing too much out there.
Especially with their realignment number actually dropping. The cutoff, which we did predict that Dave Campbell's Texas football, the cutoff would drop.
Realignment number came out. They turned in 2404, which again, comfortably, it would have been 6A in the last realignment number 2. Now, I will say this. So I'm not a UIL conspiracy guy. I'm not a guy that's like tinfoil hat. Oh man, they're scheming. They're trying to figure things out. That's not me. I think because we just know the folks at the UIL, and it's just like in talk with them, take them at their word that they are trying to do their best to put these things together.
It's not easy.
It's not easy. If you are a UIL conspiracy theorist of like, oh, they're trying to give cushy landing spots for some teams, the Alito lining up with Arlington ISD certainly would fall into your purview there.
I wouldn't have done that.
Yeah.
I posted what I would have done, and it was not this. I would have had North Crowley and Crowley with Alito, Weatherford, and Granbury, and then I would have had Haltom and Haltom and Boswell in there in some way. Maybe it's the 2 HEB schools. So I was able to finagle an alignment where it worked.
Instead, Alito lands with Arlington ISD, as well as they were always going to be with Weatherford and Granbury. It's always going to be like that. Yeah. So they land with Arlington ISD. In my estimation, a pretty soft landing for them.
Yeah, the Arlington schools haven't exactly been tearing it up in the playoffs recent years. Bowie got a playoff win a couple of years ago, but and I think Bowie is clearly the second best team in the district. Joe Sam's done a great job there. They 8 starters back on offense, but they don't have a lot of depth. They're one of the smallest 6A schools out there. So how will they handle that? Where Alito, even though Alito loses a lot,
I have a lot of questions about Alito.
This is not the first time we've seen an Alito team bring back like 2 starters on both sides of the ball, and they turn around and go 14-1. Now they're in
6A.
They haven't had those questions and going 6A, but I think in this district they'll be able to get their sea legs into them. Now, tough non-district schedule. They open the season with North Crowley.
Yes.
So we're going to find out about Alito real quick. But we've seen Alito struggle early in this season and get their wheels on, and that incredible district. I think that district winning streak is going to continue.
I think so too. I think they're going to be favored in every district game they play. Now, I will say this. From a perspective of Alito, and by the way, we have them ranked in the magazine at the number 16 spot.
And I think that's a fair spot, top 20. Just you have to give Alito some credit, and
the most decorated program in Texas.
The pedigree speaks for itself, so I think you trust in that a little bit.
I will say this: as far as this Alito team is concerned, from a skill position spot, kind of starting over.
Yeah, young, very young, very inexperienced. Yeah.
So
now they do have a quarterback that moved in from Louisville. Trey Williams is there, so it gives him at least a dynamic playmaker to kind of center the offense around. And we know they'll be good up front. We know they're offensive and defensive lines. They're going to be really good.
Yes, absolutely. I like Bowie second in the district.
Yep, me too.
Probably. And then maybe. Boy, let me tell you, 3, 4, 5 gets murky.
I think Lamar, Arlington, and Martin are fighting it out. I gave the edge to Lamar and Arlington. I actually Mallory Hartley, KICK kicking Colts. I think Arlington High, they got a lot back there. JV was 10-0 last year. I think Arlington High is going to have a good year. I think the Colts are in for a great season. Over to
District 4 6A. District 4 6A is, again, much the same with the addition of they swing Saginaw Boswell over into this district along with the Keller ISD schools and Northwest ISD.
You basically took out Trinity and Bell and you added Boswell.
While they also will deal with the team that played in the state champion, played in the state semifinal a year ago in South Lake Carroll, who is, as far as it's a new era in South Lake Carroll. I think that's fair to say.
Yeah,
it's a new era in South Lake Carroll because new coach, right? Riley Dodge moves on to take the job there on SMU staff. We saw him at coaching school. He seems like he's enjoying themselves. And similar to what we talked about with Pleasant Grove, I think they did the right thing, in my estimation, and promoted from within.
Yeah, the success you've had, you'd be crazy not to promote from within. Lehman was, and they had an exhaustive search. But
yes,
Lehman, that was he was who the community wanted, and I think, I think he'll do. I think it's that fine line you got to walk where he's got to do things his way, but also there's things that work at South Lake.
And
I don't think South Lake's going to switch to the slot T.
I do not think so. Yeah. Especially he's a defensive guy. That's part of it.
Yeah.
But also their defense brings back. Let me check my notes here. 0 starters. They were absolutely as far as teams that got hit by graduation. There are few teams in America that got hit by graduation like South Lake Carroll. 65 lettermen graduate.
Yeah, but he had a great point with us at coaching school. The last time they returned 0 starters on defense, they played for a state championship. So there is and they do have a lot back on offense.
They do.
They bring back a lot, and they've got some really exciting young talent. I like the new quarterback, Hudson Tomczyk. He's going to listen. I don't worry about South Lake Carroll having a good QB. That's one of the places they're going to have a good QB. They've got some really exciting skill talent back. They've got some young guys that are coming in the pipeline. I think, you got ex-Cowboy, you got Des Bryant Jr., DeMarcus Ware Jr. playing for them. So I like South Lake Carroll. I think they're clearly the number one team. Again, this is the unique thing about South Lake. The last couple of years, their non-district schedule left a lot to be desired.
Yes.
It ain't that way this year. They opened up with Jinx, Oklahoma, which we are all going to be Carroll Dragons that day because we can't let anybody from Oklahoma beat us.
We don't root in Texas high school football games, but we do when they cross borders.
Yes, we do. Then they have after that North Crowley and Allen. So we'll find out about South Lake.
We
quick.
will. Also, by the way, on their staff, coaching defenses,
Nick Gerber.
Yeah. Which is awesome. As far as past South Lake Carroll, I think they're in my estimation, the clear favorite in this district.
I think there's a clear number 2.
Byron Nelson.
Yes.
Yeah.
I really like this Byron Nelson ball club. They got their defensive line is going to be a problem.
They got 3 D1 guys on the defensive line.
Really good. I like Nolan Hawkins. They got a really good young running back who's just William Green. I think Trey Green. I think he's going to be outstanding. I think Byron Nelson. I like Zach Woodruff a lot at the head coach there. I think this is a really, really good Byron Nelson team. They're going to be Division I because they're the second biggest school in the district. But I like them a lot.
Is there a way? There's not a way that Carroll goes D1.
There is.
Yeah, but it would require for Keller Central, which is possible. I think Keller Central can make playoffs.
And Boswell.
But then they need Boswell to
They
kind
need
of come
Central.
out of nowhere.
Yeah, basically, for those of you wondering, Boswell and Keller Central have to make it.
I do think that, like that, again, going back to it, do you think that it's Keller ISD for the other two with Keller and Central?
I think there's a 4-team race for those last 2 spots with the 3 Keller schools and Eaton.
Okay.
Those are the teams that I'm watching. I mean, Keller Central, obviously.
Eaton was real young last year.
They were.
But they bring back, I think, 15 starters from last year's ball club.
And Central brings a lot back. Keller graduated heavier, but they always kind of are senior heavy. And Timber Creek, is kind of right in that middle ground. The Keller schools always play each other tough. It's like the Frisco schools in a lot of ways. You just never know what's going to happen. Then you get Eaton involved. Central does not have the depth.
No.
Central is a very small 6A, but man, Isaiah Taylor and Jeremiah Taylor.
They got the top line talent.
I mean, we saw them at State 7-on-7, and they are
special.
I mean, I think Isaiah Taylor may be like the number 1 athlete in the class of 2028 by some recruiting services in the country, and I know Greg Powers absolutely loves him. So it's just going to come down to Central and their depth, staying healthy. But Eric Vance has done a heck of a job there. They went from 0-10 to 1-9. In Vance's first year, they went 1-9, improved to 5-5 last year.
Yeah,
and they bring a lot back.
Over to District 5, where I want to be clear, this is not the only headline in District 5, but holy cow, there's a Frisco team in 6A.
yeah, it's weird. Frisco for the longest had a very stated intention to not let any of their schools go to the state's largest classification.
Basically, just get anytime they were creeping about 2,000 students
and open a new school.
Or
they'd rezone things, but. Internal district politics come into play, and Wakeland is a very prestigious school, and parents are like, I don't want to get rezoned out of Wakeland. I want to stay at Wakeland. And Wakeland had always kind of been creeping up, that 2,200 number, and we were like, there's a chance. And it happened, so we have a Frisco school in 6A.
So Wakeland is there, along with Denton ISD, specifically Geyer and Braswell, Louisville ISD with Louisville, Hebron, Marcus, Flower Mound, and Little Elm there with it comprised District 5, 6A. The conversation, I think, is going to center around Geyer. They are the pick in the magazine to win the district.
Among the best defensive lines in Texas.
Absolutely outrageous.
Three Division I guys in that D-line.
Their defensive line is going to be fantastic. A lot of the question marks for them are going to come back to, can they find a running game?
Yes.
And that's a big question for them.
Yes, but you think a school like Geyer, the athletes they have, running game, but they will get a lot of the running game from quarterback Carter Morgan. He kind of emerged mid-season and was the guy. He's getting one of Geyer's best receivers got hurt right in the spring game. Missed the whole season last year. He's back, so I think Geyer will be able to throw the ball a little bit better. It's going to be, can they find a running game, and can their secondary is going to be young.
Louisville is interesting to me because they had a number of, you mentioned their quarterback, Trey Williams, is that right?
Yeah.
Who transferred to Aledo. There has been some change on the roster there. I want to know when they get into camp and when it's like, here's our team. what they feel and look like.
So they had a quarterback move in from just south Edmond North, Oklahoma, who's apparently they like a lot. He was a sophomore last year. He'll be a junior this year. He'll be a sophomore this year. Very good player. Louisville's loaded the skill spots. Yeah. It's going to be the trenches. They graduated really heavy up front, both sides of the ball. I still think it's enough for them to have the number 2 seed. And even speaking of graduation, Hebron's another team graduated real heavy. I think they have enough frontline skill talent to get the 3 spot.
Yeah, I do too.
I think the 4 spot, if Garrett Nussmeier hadn't transferred, I probably would have locked Marcus into the 4 seed. But with his transfer, Tepper, I think the door kind of opens here for Denton Braswell.
Oh,
I've got Denton Braswell getting into the playoffs as the 4 seed here, and this is an this is one of those things. I believe in Justin Evans. I've heard great things coming out of camp. They brought back 6. Braswell last year struggled, but when they played well, they played well. They lost to Coppell by 4. Like they showed they can play with elite teams when they put it all together. They bring 16 starters back. They had a couple of key move-ins from out of state come in. They've got a new attitude. They got way more. They got Coach Evans told me they got a dozen kids out of the hallways or out of basketball out for football that he thinks can help them.
Interesting.
So like there's some buzz over at Braswell. I think Braswell gets the 4 seed here.
I also think like Wakeland moving up. Let's not forget they were an 11-win team. They were a 3rd-round team last year.
Consistently good. They did graduate really heavy.
They did. A lot of it's going to come down to Braxton Cole, their star running back. How much can he carry the load? But I think they're in that mix. Again, you're right. Because
who's the wrestlers? Bobby Lashley?
Yeah, Bobby
His
Lashley's
kid plays for him.
What's his name? Let me see if he listed on the questionnaire. Maybe not. I'll tell you later. Okay. So, but I think you're right. Colton Nussmeier moving to Louisiana
changed the whole
dynamic, especially of that kind of that undercard kind of after Geyer. Okay, District 6. District 6 is where you will find a bit of there's some rejiggering that has gone on here. Specifically, the move up of Prosper Walnut Grove from 5A to 6A after what can only be described as a really fantastic run through 5A.
First 2 years, but it's a big jump from 5AD2 to 6A.
It is a huge jump. And they are doing it without their quarterback, Hayes Hackney.
And their running back, Cam Newton, who went to Colorado.
Right.
So they lose 2 of their big... Now, I think Walnut Grove is going to be better at the other spots, but those are 2 big holes they got to fill.
The top of this district is 2 big teams. One of them, I want to go in kind of reverse order of the way I think they finish. I want to talk about Prosper here for a minute. Prosper gets hit pretty hard by graduation, especially in the trenches. And they had... Again, we talked about this on our show about how last year they had one of maybe the great high school offensive lines we've seen as far as star-studded is concerned.
It was unbelievable.
Their class was unreal. 7 of their 8 starters on the offensive and defensive line are gone.
Yeah, they graduated 40 seniors.
Yeah.
And in addition, you have another high school opening up in Prosper ISD in Richland who's going to be 5A Division II this year. So you're cutting into that depth even more now. Walnut Grove's fully operational. They got four full grades in it now. Now you got Richland. So I think I still have Prosper as the number 2 team, but I think they're going to take a step back.
Now, so then that brings us to my top of the table, and I think the top of the table for a lot of people, which is the Allen Eagles. Guys, it might be an Allen year. They're really loaded.
They are, but the only question I would have is they're loaded, but they're young loaded. They are going to play a lot of sophomores.
So your question is, are they a year away?
Correct. Yeah. Now, again, the great thing about non-district, we're going to find out. Allen opens the season at home against Duncanville. Week 2, at home against DeSoto. Week 3, at South Lake Carroll. Week 4, at Prosper. So, by the way, they scrimmage North Crowley.
So their first 5 weeks of action, they will be
North Crowley, Duncanville,
socked
DeSoto.
in the mouth.
Yeah, we'll find out.
Yeah.
We'll know about Allen real quick. We'll know if they're. I think there's going to be some growing pains.
Yeah.
You can't throw that many sophomores out there week 1 against Duncanville and not expect to have some growing pains. But I think Allen's going to be better for it in November, December.
Yeah.
So they may go into the playoffs 8-2.
Right.
But they may still be a contender as those young guys get their feet under them.
I talked about it after 7-on-7. I think I had questions about Ty Snell, the sophomore quarterback. I'd heard good things, but I hadn't seen it. I was impressed with what we saw at 7-on-7
Oh, he looked
by him.
great.
He looked real good. I think he's the next big thing for them.
Zach Williams at receiver was tremendous. There's some D1, D2 things to watch in this district too. Okay, Prosper.
Not Allen.
No.
Allen is going D1. They turned in an enrollment of 6,900 guys. 6788 or 98.
They're shrinking. They're shrinking.
What's wrong with Allen's enrollment? 888-787-1310.
Yeah. Prosper is the 5th largest school in the district, okay? Prosper went Division II last year, okay? I have them projected to go Division I right now because I think Rock Hill and Jesuit get into the playoffs.
Yeah, that's interesting too.
But if McKinney Boyd, if one of those two teams is able to get into the playoffs, it's going to push Prosper down to the Division II bracket. Yeah. So one thing to watch when you're looking at this district is when you're looking at Division I, Division II, Prosper's kind of your swing school.
On to District 7, it's the main event. It's the main event, folks. Look, I've been mailing it in for a 2A preview. You think I want to talk about 2A? No. I'm kidding. I love all these previews. But we have arrived at District 7, 6A, where we can finally actually talk about legitimate contender Coppell.
Yeah, they are.
Guys, this is not a bit, okay? This is not a bit. Coppell's going to be pretty good.
I think Coppell is a legitimate contender in region. I think in Division I, Coppell and Allen are the two teams to beat here.
Yeah.
There is a scenario where the Coppell Cowboys are in a state semifinal.
Yeah.
And
I mean,
did you ever think you would?
No, but they got the Zing Man.
They got Zingelhaus, Carter Zingelman, the Zingelhaus, as Hudson Standish calls him.
He's the real deal, guys.
He is a
The
grown
Zingelhaus?
yeah.
That's insane.
He is a large child.
And
6'4", 230 or something. He's in just.
I think their defense.
He looks like a linebacker.
I think their defense is going to be pretty darn good.
They are. They're experienced. They've got a really good senior class. They've got a really good sophomore class coming. Like Coppell is.
I'm just telling you that if you were to give me like a blind resume of like what this team looks like, I'd say, man, this team looks pretty good. And then you'd reveal the name, I'd be like, blah, 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 blah.
Yeah. And last year was kind of their down year, and they still went to the third round of the playoffs. Yeah. So here's the thing. We're talking these non-district games, right? Week 2, Coppell at Waxahachie. Mm-hmm. That's your measuring stick right there. That's going to be.
It'll be really good.
Chef's kiss. This district is fun.
The district is really fun. It's Plano ISD and Richardson ISD. And
Richardson ISD is on the come up.
Let me tell you, man, there is no trajectory that is pointed up for as far as an entire school district, quite like what's going on in Richardson ISD. I don't know.
Highlands, Berkner, and Richardson all really good.
All are excellent. All were playoff teams last year. Mm-hmm. Two of them, Lake Highlands and Richardson, both won playoff games. Mm-hmm. And the
Berkner did too.
And by the way, they all bring back a good amount.
Yeah. All three won playoff games last year.
That's right.
Berkner had a game canceled. That's why they rained out.
So they all 3 men. It would not be a surprise. I think okay. Finishing the bit here. I think Coppell is the favorite in this district.
Correct.
Okay. Coppell's the favorite. It would not be a surprise if it was a Richardson sweep the rest of the way.
No, I think you've got 5 teams.
Yeah.
The 3 Richardson schools, Plano and Plano East.
Yes.
Plano East is going to be sneaky good as well. That sophomore running back Selman, he's special. Mm-hmm. It's a 5-horse race for 3 spots. Now, here's the thing when you talk about Plano and Plano East, okay, versus Richardson ISD. Richardson ISD, the last couple of realignments, has gotten to kind of run up some good numbers against the Irving schools. All due respect to the Irving schools. Shout out Mike Roach, Crooked Eye. Where Plano and Plano East have been playing in a tougher district overall, top to bottom. So
playing with the Allens of the world.
When Plano and Richardson played last year, it was pretty much a draw. Mm-hmm. So I think you have to look at it like on paper, those 5 teams have similar resumes and are similarly built. So yeah, I could see all 3 Richardson schools making it. I could see both Plano schools making it. Mm-hmm. So I think on paper. So what I'm saying in District 7, get your tiebreakers ready, because I think you're going to have some 3 and maybe 4-way ties, because these teams on paper behind Coppell are really evenly matched.
Here's the other thing that's kind of wild about this district. 3 of like the top 7 largest schools in the state are in this district. Because if you don't know, I think everybody knows Plano East and Plano West particularly are very, very big. Plano High is over 4,000. Coppell is close to 4,500 students.
Yeah. So there is a scenario Coppell goes Division II.
Absolutely.
If Plano West and Plano West is probably your long shot, but if Plano West and East make it, Coppell would be Division II.
Plano West was a decent team last year. Lost out, I think, on a tie break to get into the playoffs. But they got hit pretty hard by graduation.
Yep.
Okay. Like 15 more minutes on Coppell. Let's talk boundary safety first.
Okay.
All right. District 8. Hey, we talked about Lake Dallas too. I think we got glossed over Everman though. It's gonna be
tough scene.
Might be a tough year for the 8 o'clock. Okay. District 8. District 8 is kind of a smushing together of a lot of different, like, it feels like, okay, let me put it to you this way. My kids at home, we've got a couple of bins of toys where it's just like, they're kind of catch-alls. And it's like all these different toys kind of get thrown in there, and so suddenly you've got Mickey Mouse in there with a Power Ranger, you've got in there with a Mater from Cars and stuff like that. This kind of feels like that district.
This is like your late 90s, early 2000s district. When I talked to the aforementioned Mike Roach about this is the district he knows from when he was in Irving. Irving ISD, Grand Prairie ISD, and HEB ISD, and then Haltom thrown in for fun. So it's kind of a mishmash of teams, but there's also, if you're a Northeast Tarrant County traditionalist, this is kind of your jam right here. And I think it's different now. Trinity is still the team to beat, but
man, it feels like I think
it's been a
twofold.
slow drop off for
I
Trinity.
think they have come back to the pack, and also let's give some credit to some of these rising powers, specifically South Grand Prairie. I think has really upped their profile in recent years. I'm buying stock in LD Bell.
I think they finally break. LD Bell hasn't been in the playoffs since 2013.
Yes.
I think they break through this year. I think the Blue Raiders get back in. And Jason Tucker quietly at Haltom has done a really good job keeping them in the mix for playoffs. If you want a sleeper to dream on, I think Grand Prairie is kind of your
a ton coming back.
Your sleeper, like hipster type team. If you're looking for like a team to kind of look really smart at the water cooler in the office, talk about the Grand Prairie Gophers a little bit. But not a lot of D1, D2 drama here. Trinity and South Grand Prairie are the two biggest schools in the district, and I think they're pretty safely locked into the playoffs, which means they'll go Division I.
The most importantly, I like what the Irving Tigers have. Napoleon Proctor is the name to know. The guy who's going to they're going to give him the ball in a variety of different ways. Going to play both sides for the Irving Tigers. I think that they finish 5th.
Okay, Irving High finishing 5th.
I'm going with Irving High.
Roach says if Irving makes the playoffs, he's going to every Irving playoff game.
He absolutely should. He should paint his face.
Roach, paint your face.
Okay,
black and gold.
And that is a crisp
30
Region
minutes.
1. Okay, on to Region 2.
we have a commercial to record in an hour.
Yes,
I don't think
know.
we're going to be on time.
District 9. Let's talk about District 9, and essentially unchanged from last year.
Just lost Naaman Forest.
Naaman Forest drops down to 5A. Otherwise, it is Garland ISD and Wiley ISD, and the Wiley is important. What's interesting about this district is, I think by virtue, because of I think that of who they were matched up with them by district, but also just kind of I think how tightly packed this district is. The remaining teams went 0-3 in the playoffs last year. No, did not win a playoff game. I think the top of this district, I think 1 through 5, boy. I mean, Wiley East is probably your favorite, but
they were the dreaded 10-1 last year.
I don't think there's a ton of daylight between the first place team and the 5th place team in this district.
I think the team to watch out for to dethrone Wiley East, in my opinion, is Rowlett. I thought Rowlett had a really kind of a nice bounce back year last year. 15 starters returning. I think Rowlett is the team I feel best equipped to maybe challenge Wiley East for that district championship. I think those are the two top teams. I think after that, you've got 4, maybe 5 teams fighting for those 2 spots. Saxe always seems to be in the mix.
Yes.
Red Barons, Everman alum, always does a good job with the Saxe Mustangs. Lakeview is as talented as anyone. They have talent. They just haven't been able to put it together. Wiley's got great skill talent as well. Watch out for North Garland this year, Tepper. North Garland, on paper, they bring back more than anyone.
Yeah.
And I think they have a chance. They're really good skill talent. The trenches are going to kind of tell a tale for North Garland. Here's the thing. Wiley and North Garland are the 2 biggest schools in this district. So if one of those teams gets into the playoffs, it shakes up the Division I, Division II kind of scenario. Right now, I have Wiley East actually going Division I because I have Wiley and North Garland out of the playoffs. So we'll see. But I think it's always a balanced district. A lot of good Thursday games in this district. So if you want to catch a good Thursday night game with playoff implications, Garland, this 9-6A is your district.
Yeah, 9-6A is going to have, again, I think tightly packed games and like high. I'll just say this: like last year, Wiley East won this district at 8-0. Mm-hmm. I think it would surprise me if we didn't have to break out tiebreakers.
But after that, there was
it was a big glut.
Like 3 teams at 6-2.
Yeah, I don't think any team finished with one district.
No.
So that always makes things interesting. On to District 10. District 10 is kind of the east side of DFW, as well as stretching out to East Texas, specifically Tyler and Longview. And Longview is probably where it can start this conversation. John King, back. Sounds like he's doing great, healthy, and stuff like that after last year.
He'll be back on the sidelines. He's raring to go.
Cussing people out. By people, I mean me. And look, it will be a different team. It'll be a different team. But if you're a Lobo fan, you're looking at this Longview team and you're going, they're kind of good in the ways that we like our team to be good at.
Yeah,
like,
this is
good on the offensive line. Going to be good at some skill spots. We'll figure everything else out.
I think defense will be. They need to improve on defense. I think they need to get back. Last year they kind of got away from Longview football. Like there were games where Longview struggled to run the football, and they got overly reliant on the passing game, and then it overexposed their defense. I think they need to kind of get back to that Longview football. I love the passing game threat. I mean, Johnny Hamilton, the UTEP committed quarterback, is the best quarterback they've had since Haynes King. And I think they've got, Herndon at receiver. They've got playmakers galore. They just got to be able to – the example I gave was in the North Forney game. They were up 3 touchdowns at halftime and lost. You never see Longview do that. It was because they couldn't put the game away in the second half because they couldn't run the football. We'll see if Longview can get back to that. I still think they're the favorite, but this is a balanced and tough district. And here's the other thing. You mentioned North Forney. That is, in my opinion, that's the top 2. 1-2, in my opinion, is North Forney and Longview. Dude, this North Forney team there's some juice here. They've got a lot back, but they've got one big red light, big hole here. How do you replace Legend Bay? Yes. And he was the difference maker in a lot of games for North Forney, including the Longview game last year. He was and even with all his exploits, they needed a missed extra point to beat Longview. Yes. He's gone. He's at Ohio State now. And how does North Forney replace that production? Because when things got dicey for North Forney, they hit the legend button. Yeah, and it worked a lot. Yeah. So we'll see what it goes there. I think North Forney is the number 2 team, but I think the gap and North Forney has to go to Longview this year. And that's tough. You got to go to Lobo Stadium and those crazy folks in Longview barking and howling at you and eating awesome popcorn. All the fun stuff they do in Longview. I think, though, what I'm watching for is that race for the last 2 playoff spots. Rockwall Heath, I'm really intrigued by Casey Dick and what he's doing at Rockwall Heath. Yeah, we talked with Casey Dick at coaching school. He feels really good about kind of stepping in the situation. I think that he takes over a team that's got some talent on it. Oh, and Prosper Neal, Carter Zom. Yeah, I mean, they've got some dudes. It's a Rockwall Heath team that beat North Forney last year. So, So then it's kind of like pick your spot here, because let's say let's just say, for the sake of argument, let's say Longview, North Forney, Rockwall Heath get it. Do you go with a team like Forney, who was a 3rd round playoff team last year, but got absolutely wiped by graduation? Okay. Or do you go with a team like Rockwall, which went 4-6, but brings back a whole lot of good stuff from last year? They went 4-6 and beat North Crowley. Exactly. And missed the playoffs. Yes. Yeah. The maybe the strangest team in Texas high school football last year. How about neither? Oh, he's on one, folks. Can I interest you in the Royce City Bulldogs? Oh, you're croon-pilled. I know. She's not there anymore, though. I know she went to Maybank. I know. This junior class at Royce City, it's their time. They played a ton of sophomores last year. Now they're juniors. Bryson Arney, Brandon DeRoe-Harris, Kingston, I think Rogers at defensive end. They've got the talent. It's put up or shut up time. This is the group they've been talking about in Royce City. If they're going to make any noise as seniors, they got to at least get into the playoffs this year. So I'm going to take Royce City as the 4th seed here. I like it.
Over to District 11, where not much. District
skip
12.
it, right? Just skip
we'll
one.
skip that one.
12-6A.
Yeah. So District 11 is one of those teams one of those districts that has 3 teams in the top 6. And look, it's again back to UIL conspiracy theories. It's a strange district from a shape perspective.
Putting the Crowley schools in this district I wouldn't have done it.
It's a choice.
I didn't agree with that decision. I posted. I didn't agree with it. I would have done something differently, and that's just me. But this is what we got. So now, if you're here's the thing: we've thought of North Crowley the past 4 years as a Division I team. They won a Division I state championship in 2024.
Yep.
There's a 99% chance actually North Crowley goes Division II. The only way North Crowley can go Division I, actually, the only way North Crowley could actually go into the Division I bracket is Duncanville or Waxahachie would have to miss the playoffs for them
Which
to go
would be
Division
a top 6 team. Either the number 1 team or the number 6 team
missing the playoffs. Yeah. So most likely they're going to be Division II.
Right.
So, but they may also finish 3rd in district. I have them 3rd right now. As talented as North Crowley is, I have Waxahachie and Duncanville ahead of them.
New coach. In fact, it's a district full of new coaches. We'll start with Waxahachie, where Shane Tollison leaves to go take over at Denton Ryan. We talked about Denton Ryan in the 5A preview. He left a team that is,
Loaded.
simple, ready to win a state championship.
When to pull the curtain back a little bit, when the Denton Ryan job came open, I talked to Coach Tollison, and he told me, that if it wasn't Denton Ryan, he wouldn't have left. The only job he was leaving Waxahachie for was Denton Ryan. Well, it was Denton Ryan, so he left. But he said, this team is ready to win a state championship.
Well, you look up and down this roster, and it's not just like the frontline talent, although the frontline talent is absolutely outrageous. You're talking about Jerry Meyer, the quarterback there,
South Carolina commit,
who is spectacular. You are talking about, in my estimation, the most dynamic defensive player in the state in Jaquan Snell,
Texas A&M commit,
the defensive back. He is a monster back. He's the guy who made probably the most famous hit of last year when he stoned Duncanville for that one. Carmelo Clausen,
Cedric Marsh is committed to Kansas State.
Braylon Davis, Jordan Smith. This team is loaded.
Yeah.
New coach Lawrence Williams takes over. Again, promote from within. That's what you got to do. They got to go out there and do it. Here's the other thing, in my opinion. We've talked about like Duncanville. You talk about Duncanville and North Shore, and some of these other programs that, like, if it's not this year, they probably get another bite of the apple next year. I got to be honest. For Waxahachie, it feels like it's got to be now.
Yeah, they have a new school opening.
Yes.
Yeah. Waxahachie, those who don't know, Waxahachie is a second high school that it will open next August. It will begin to cut into the depth at Waxahachie. So you have all these things kind of coming together at once, right? You've got maybe their most talented senior class ever. You have a junior class behind them that is as deep with quality. Maybe don't have the frontline talent that the senior class has, but they are deep. Depth at every position with talented football players. Those two classes back-to-back right now, it's got to happen now because this is the last time they're going to have the one town kind of thing in all 4 grades.
Yeah.
And although as good as Duncanville is, Waxahachie showed last year that they're not scared of Duncanville. They can play with Duncanville.
Yes, I would agree. I think that's a huge part of it. A lot of it is just mental.
They got over the hump last year.
Yes.
They beat them, and then even in the 4th round playoff game, they dug themselves a big hole. And I turned the game off because I think when Duncanville scored right before halftime to go up 28-10, I was like, oh, this game's over.
Yes.
And Waxahachie in the second half clawed back and made that a 1-score game.
Yeah.
So they can play with Duncanville. Now, Duncanville is going to be Duncanville, right? They're still going to be really, really good. Now, they lose those insanely good defensive ends, but linebacker and secondary should be good. Duncanville the last couple of years, kind of like they've struggled to run the football. I don't think they're going to struggle to run the football this year. They have a really good offensive line. They've got a couple of talented young running backs.
They're going to be big even by Duncanville standards.
Yes, and then you got, last year, Maximus Denson played early in the year, looked good. Off the field, things kept him off the field for the rest of the season. He's back in the fold, so they got experience at quarterback. Now you got to replace a couple of good receivers, but they still have It's Yancey, I believe, is back.
Trenton Yancey.
And then the Jairus Williams, the younger kid, Jairus Ingram, the receiver, is back. The young star receiver. So Duncanville's still got pieces to go with it. North Crowley, talented in spots.
New
right?
coach too, DeMarcus Harris.
Yes. Secondary, really. North Crowley may have the best secondary in the state of Texas.
They could have been even better if John Meredith's transfer had been approved.
They didn't need him because they have two. Braylon Cunningham's one of the top sophomore corners in the country. And the other side, you have Jerry Outhouse, who's committed to UCLA. Fat Houston back there in the secondary. I believe he's committed to Arizona, if memory serves. They're incredibly talented in the secondary. They've got 2 Division I running backs. They've got Champ Mays at receiver. Quarterback, they got a new quarterback, JT Torres, who was ineligible last year, is back. Offensive line's a big question mark for North Crowley. That's where my questions are. They struggled last year on the offensive line. If you look at the Allen game last year, Allen's defensive line dominated North Crowley's offensive line. What does North Crowley's offensive line look like? You are going to have a good offensive line in this district to block Duncanville and Waxahachie.
That is a prerequisite to contention, and that is going to be the real question. The 4th place spot, I think I like Lake Ridge.
I mean, second round, they went to the second round of the playoffs last year, and they bring back a lot. Deshaun Edwards and Cotton at running back. They've got a really big senior class. I think Lake Ridge is the clear number 4 seed.
District 12. District 12 is a couple of Central Texas newcomers getting moved up, young programs that are making their 6A debuts in Lake Belton and Killeen Chaparral. Join the likes of Temple, Midway, Harker Heights, Coppers Cove, kind of 6A, kind of stalwarts there in Central Texas. Another district that, especially at the very top, I think is real tightly packed. I don't see a ton of daylight between the number 1 team, at least the top 3 in my estimation. You could put, I think, Temple, Midway, and Harker Heights in some sort of way.
I'd go Harker Heights 1 just because of the quarterback play. Hudson Humble, recent Jackson State commit. The young receiver Ryan Taylor, who's committed to UTSA, one of the most underrated receivers in the state. And Harker Heights actually won a playoff game last year. And could have easily been in the 3rd round of the playoffs if they lost that game late to Forney last year. So Harker Heights, I think, has the pedigree. They also have the advantage of going Division II, which I think really helps them as far as playoff positioning goes. I do like Midway at as the number 2 seed. Lathan Wisington, the Notre Dame commit at running back, outstanding. I think Temple's I think you've got 4. Coppers Cove, I think, is pretty clearly, in my opinion, the 4 seed. Rodney Southern did a great job in his first year at Coppers Cove. They bring a lot back. I think in year 2 they're going to be even better. So I think Lake Belton is Lake
Belton's got a reload defense,
and they have a new head coach.
Yeah,
Kirk Rogers, former Hardin Simmons legend. They're at Lake Belton, the new head coach. I think Lake Belton may be a year away, but I think Coppers Cove is locked into that 4 seed.
I think you're probably right. You could probably talk me into like a team like Temple making a run for the top of the district, but I think you're right. That's probably the order that I've got them in as well. District 13.
Houston.
Finally, we're out of DFW, Central Texas. We're out of the Houston area. District 13, kind of north part of Houston, with Conroe ISD plus Willis and Cleveland. Fun times in Cleveland today.
Yeah, it is not fun times. It is tough times in Cleveland football
today. Top of the district. There's a lot of questions here because I think on paper, you look at College Park.
Defending district champs.
What they did last year, 12-1, coming off their best season in program history, 14 starters back, a lot to like. There is one particular change there that I want to know how it lands with them, which is particularly at the head coaching spot.
Yeah, if they're going to have a head coaching change, it's good to have a head coaching change with a lot of guys back. The culture's been established, and I think we saw this summer they still looked good. They still, I think they've got the quarterback play. They got Cromartie at receiver. They've got to replace the safety. Marco Chavez, I believe, he was kind of the nerve center of that defense last year. He graduated. They've still got those 2 really, really good interior defensive linemen. So I think College Park across the board gets the edge, especially with the quarterback play. But I think Willis is right there nipping at their heels.
Look, we talked about
quarterback play.
They got Lincoln Frazier. Now, look, they lose Mr. Texas football in Jermaine Bishop, but they have lost to Mr. Texas football before, and they have kind of kept on trucking. And Lincoln Frazier is going to cover up a lot of concerns that you have. Yeah. The question for Willis, and I know I'm beating a dead horse, got to get better defensively.
Yeah,
Like
and I
that's
think
what's holding them back.
I think they can be better on defense this year. I think they bring back 7 starters on the defensive side of the ball. So you got to think they're going to 8 starters actually. They bring back 8 starters. Trey Finney is kind of the guy that's going to step into that. I don't want to say he's going to step into the Jermaine Bishop role, but he's going to kind of be that number 1 guy. Incredible speed, kind of built a little bit like Bishop. So we'll see if he can step in and help replace some of that production. Along with, I think if they can get junior running back Jamarcus Williams going, takes a little bit of the pressure off the passing game. But Willis is going to get into 4 and 5 wide a lot. That's what they do. That's their identity. So
the Woodlands is interesting too because again, last year it felt like for College Park it was a huge deal for them to beat the Woodlands. It's a huge deal as kind of like a passing of the torch. Is that a permanent change? Is that a temporary change? I know the Woodlands is going to come in with a chip on their shoulder.
Sure, but they graduated pretty heavy too, especially offensively and in the secondary. Those are the places where Magnus Herndon Woodlands, 16 sacks last year. He is a monster on the defensive line.
Over to District 14, District 14 6A, Spring ISD as well as Aldine ISD. I don't want to overthink this all that much. I think that last year we had a 3-way tie at 6-1 between Westfield, Nimitz, and Aldine Davis. I think Spring Westfield is probably your favorite here.
They've kind of separated a little bit this year. Even though they're actually a 5A school by enrollment, Westfield I think gets the nod as the favorite.
I think their defense is going to be pretty good.
I do like Aldine Davis as the 2 seed. I'm a big Kelvin Chatham guy. I like Aldine Davis. Nimitz, I expect them to take a step back, but still get into the playoffs. If you're wanting to dream on a team as a sleeper, looking for those hipsters, keep an eye on the MacArthur Generals this year.
Oh.
I think they will be a playoff contender this year.
Interesting.
We have them at the bottom of the district.
We do.
They were really hurt by injuries early in the year, and they still played a lot of close games. They bring a ton back. The year 2 bump under Blake Ware. Blake Ware is a guy who turns programs around. Just watch out for Aldine MacArthur as a possible contender for that 4 seed. I don't think anyone in this district, all due respect, is a contender in Region 2. This district got swept out of the playoffs in the first round last year. Westfield's got a chance, but I think it's going to be tough sledding for them in the playoffs.
See, I'm an Ike guy. I like Eisenhower to grab a spot. I like what they bring back. A second year under Patrick McGinnis, I think will do some good things for them. 15 starters back, and they're going to be really good, especially up front, which I think always is a good thing, especially when you go and look at a Spring Westfield team that you know is going to kind of bash you up front defensively. Over to District 15. District 15 6A, this is Klein ISD. This is the team that makes us look silly every single year, which is Tomball, plus Tomball Memorial.
It's a balanced and deep district.
Magnolia is in here as well. It's the same structure of a district. Everything's kind of the same. District 15.
Yeah, no changes.
No changes here. The changes, I think, are going to be in maybe the finish here, because I think every one of these teams has some legit questions about them. Yeah. There's no finished products here.
I think last year Collins and Magnolia were kind of the 2 top teams in the district, and it kind of played out that way. Collins is the team, I think, just because they've been so consistent. I mean, they've won 9 of the 11 district championships. So you got to think Collins, even though they graduated heavy, gets the benefit of the doubt as a district favorite, especially with all the questions that everyone else has. The real key is going to be, I think, in this district, what do we make of Klein this year?
Yeah.
Obviously, they've had some stuff off the field that's been out of their control with the kids. David Perez is the interim head coach as of now. He's still the head coach. We're assuming he's going into the season as the head coach. How does that go in year 2 of the program that was started by Nick Caduti when he was hired last year? How does the assistant coaches that are there kind of keep the train on the tracks? They're going to be really good and talented. Mike Brown was ineligible last year. He is as dynamic a playmaker on the outside as you can get. Their quarterback missed all of last year, Carter Luttrell. I saw him in 7-on-7. He's really good. I think you're going to see a little bit more of a wide open Klein offense this year. Klein Oak is as talented as anyone with the quarterback that's committed to West Virginia, Andre Phillip, Micah Rhodes at running back. He's one of the best running backs in the state in the class of 2028. You got Tomball with 2 of the best running backs around in that backfield they've got, and you never can count out playoff Tomball.
No. If they get in the playoffs, you are screwed.
Yeah, they just find a way to do good things in the playoffs. Klein Kane, I can't count them. And then Magnolia, they graduated heavy.
Magnolia is fascinating to me.
They graduated heavy, but they still have Chase Lowry at quarterback.
Yeah.
who can win them a game by himself at some point.
If they can just find defensively, like if they can rebuild defensively.
9 starters graduated.
If they can rebuild defensively, they can win the district.
There's 6 teams that we just talked about that I think on paper, 1 through 6, again, get your tiebreakers out. This is going to be one of those districts where somebody's beating somebody. You're going to have some 3-way ties.
Yeah, I think it's going to be a lot of fun. Okay. Over to District 16. District 16 is our first foray into Sci-Fair ISD. And the fun thing here
is
that the UIL is just like, what if we just mix you guys up a little bit?
Yeah.
And normally it wouldn't be that big of a deal to be like, oh, we're going to mix up teams from within your own district, right? Except when one district is District 16 and the other is last year 17 and this year it is 23.
Yeah.
So you're in Region 2, and your first round playoff game will be against a team like in Klein or Tomball.
Instead of Houston ISD.
Yeah. Big
changes.
And if you want to think about who got their ox gored, right, then it would be a team like Cy Falls, Cy Fair, etc. Now, I think those 2 teams that I just mentioned, in my estimation, are the teams to beat in this district.
I think Cy Falls is if you're looking for
are you on Wagon Watch?
A Region 2 contender in the Houston area, in Division 2, Cy Falls is it.
Wagon
They
Watch?
are.
Dude, their edge rushers are going to be stupid.
And they played on offense, I think, 8 sophomores last year. Young. They are loaded with speed and talent. I think of the Division 2 teams, and I think of the Houston teams in Region 2, Cy Falls, Division 1 or Division 2 has the best chance of making a deep run. I love Cy Falls. I think Cy Fair is going to be good as well. Those 2 outside receivers and that quarterback they have, watch them in 7-on-7. They are going to be a problem. Cy Fair is going to. You don't think of Cy Fair as a team that's throwing it around. They're going to throw it around a lot of effectiveness this year.
Yeah, they're going to throw it. They're going to be really, really good. I'm interested in Cy Lakes.
Tyrone Carter's did a first ever playoff appearance last year, and playoff win. They won a playoff game last year.
3rd year under Tyrone Carter. I think that last year was the hop and the skip. It wouldn't be a surprise, especially with some of the playmakers they've got like Davian Griffin for this to be that league.
Got to replace a lot of the worker bees. Yeah. Watch out for Langham Creek. I think Langham Creek gets into the playoffs this year. I'm bullish on Langham Creek.
Halfway done, boys. District 17 6A.
55 minutes in.
District 17 6A. And we've reached the other fireworks factory. This is the old District 23 6A with the addition of poor Crosby. It gets thrown into here. And here's the funny thing. I don't think Crosby's going to be bad.
They'll be competitive, I think, with the middle of the district. The top 4 of this district is just brutal.
The top 4 are North Shore, the reigning 6A Division 1 state champs. C.E. King, the reigning Division 2 state runner-up. Summer Creek, who was a regional finalist last year.
Summer Creek lost 2 games last year.
Yes.
Both to C.E. King. Summer Creek beat North Shore 27-0 in Week 11. And they're 3rd in district.
And then maybe the other team that had the most wild-ass 2025 is the Atascocita Eagles.
Yeah.
So I want to go in reverse order here. Let's start with Atascocita in that conversation, right? I think Kingwood is probably that. Right now I have them 5th, in my opinion. But I think a lot of that depends on what you think of Atascocita. Last year, 6-5, not the Atascocita standard. Craig Stump retires, and they go and they hire Kyle Coates from fresh off of taking College Park to their best ever season.
Sure.
We talk with Coach at coaching school. And he's fired up about what they've got cooking at Atascocita.
They're talented.
They are really talented.
Their defense is going to be serious business.
Yes.
They are going to be able to, especially that defensive line is going to be unbelievable. Here's the question I have about Atascocita. It's weird to say this because they've produced so many great players at this position, but the offensive line. I've got questions about the offensive line. They've got a quarterback that moved in, Corbin Schmeichel from College Park. I like the 2 outs. I like Brian Manuel. I like Jeremiah Vincent at receiver. I think they're going to put Rocket Rashid at running back, and that hopefully that settles things down at the running back position. But offensive line is the big question mark for them.
Moving up in my projected finish and the projected finish of the magazine is Summer Creek. Summer Creek, a team that lost to C.E. King in a heartbreaker in the regional final. A fantastic game. Look, I mean, right now it's weird to think about it was just a couple of years ago that Summer Creek was a team that's like, oh yeah, they're pretty good. They
were a defense first team, it was like Lloyd Avon or bust on offense. Not anymore.
Now, dude, they are
They are explosive.
They are loaded.
Noah
too.
Spinks at quarterback, the North Carolina commit. Benny Easter at wide receiver at Texas. Their offense, Braylon Causey at running back, they can put up points with the best of them. The question I have about Summer Creek is defense. Who's going to be able to help them get stops on the defensive side of the ball?
Question.
That's the big question, and that's a big hole, especially when you look at the rest of this district, that the top 2 teams have much fewer questions.
Yeah, can they find defensive answer? By the way, Coach Kenny Harrison, when he filled out his questionnaire, said that his offensive formation is the veer and shoot, and I just thank you very much, Coach Harrison.
Oh,
the veer and shoot. Hell yeah, brother.
Let's go.
Dudes rock. Sheldon C.E. King, fresh off of their best season in program history, and one of the best first-year head coaching jobs we've seen in a long, long time under Corey Laxton.
Did an amazing job.
And oh, by the way, they are absolutely loaded again with playmakers. You got Dylan Mitchell, the fastest man in Texas, back for his junior season.
That's a fact.
They have got dudes everywhere, and the thing that
They may have the deepest running back room in the state. They have potentially 3 Division I running backs.
they're stupid loaded.
They've got a quarterback that transferred in who I like a lot from Fort Bend Hightower. I think the defensive line was young and extremely talented last year. If there are questions about C.E. King, I would say offensive line and I would say secondary are kind of the 2. I don't want to say call them questions, but there's inexperience.
Relative inexperience.
For them, questions, yeah.
And then there's the reigning 6A Division I state champs. Lather, rinse, repeat. North Shore will field a team in 2026. That is confirmed by Dave Campbell's Texas Football.
Willie Gaston told us.
They will field a team in 2026. And the team that they will field is going to, I think it's going to look a lot like what North Shore usually looks like.
They've got a sophomore group that is loaded, folks. You are going to see a lot of big-time talented sophomores play a lot for North Shore this year, but they pair that with some really talented seniors coming back who played, guys like Aubrey Johnson at receiver and several guys in the secondary that are back there. Defensive line is going to be really good. This is a very, very deep team at the right positions when it comes to North Shore. I think the big question is going to be quarterback. They got to replace Caleb Maryland, who went to Utah State. But North Shore's won a state championship with a freshman quarterback.
Yes, they have.
So
I also think this is going to stun you, but I think that the North Shore defense with Deshaun Royal is going to be really good.
Yeah, Deshaun Royal.
Really good. Okay. Other than that, District 17, not a whole lot to say. Like I said, I don't think there's a bad. I mean, Channel View's been struggling, but I think they'll even be better. I don't think there's a bad team in this district. Okay, over to District 18. District 18 is where you will kind of go down to Galveston County, get Dickinson in there, Deer Park, kind of that southeast corridor of Houston, Clear Springs, League City, ISD, etc. You add in Barbers Hill up from 5A as well. Look. We will get to talking more about Dickinson as we get closer to week 1 because they have a pretty high-profile week 1 game against Fort Bend Ridgepoint.
I'm sure we'll talk about it at
I'm
some point.
positive we'll talk about it. This is the team that was a regional finalist from a year ago. We know what they've got, especially at the quarterback spot.
Lorenzo Aguirre.
He's a dog.
3-year starter.
And I think they're going to be really good in the front 7, too.
Yes, their defensive line's going to be good. I love Jace Washington, kind of the do-it-all playmaker. Played some receiver last year. May move to running back this year as a junior. I think that Dickinson comes into this game, this district as the clear favorite.
Yeah, I think so. Past that, though, brother, past Dickinson, put Dickinson at 1, just for now. The next 4 teams, it is pull a name out of a hat.
Yeah. Clear Falls, Deer Park, Clear Springs, and Barbers Hill. Clear Falls and Deer Park probably have a decent experience from last year, but they don't really have the playoff. They've been kind of one and done for a while. Clear Springs is typically more talented, but they were hit hard by graduation. Barbers Hill went 4 deep last year, but they were in 5A, but they're moving up. Barbers Hill, though, they've got 2 really big additions in this offseason.
Yes.
Former Woodville quarterback Luke Babin, the Baylor commit, is at Barbers Hill now, and former Columbus wide receiver Braylon Fisher is at Barbers Hill. Those are 2 huge additions for that offense, and I think probably put Barbers Hill into that discussion for the 2-3 spot more than the 4 seed.
Yeah. They're going to be really explosive. And the question, I think, is, again, how does the offense... I'm a broken record. When you move up, I want to see how your offensive and defensive lines hold up. The word on Barbers Hill is that their fronts are going to be pretty good.
Yeah.
But the question is, are they going to be 6A good? Are they going to be 6A ranked?
That's what to find out. Yeah.
Exactly right. Over to District 19. 6A is Alvin ISD and Pearland ISD, plus Brazos Wood is in there as well. I think I'll issue a positioning statement. I think there's a pretty clear divide between the top 4 and the bottom 4 here. I think I know who the top 4 teams. Now you can move it around, but I think Shadow Creek, Pearland, Manville, and Dawson are your favorites to make the playoffs at least.
On paper, Shadow Creek is the most talented team in this district.
Yes.
They are loaded with playmakers. But they've also underachieved the past couple of years.
Yes.
Pearland, maybe not as talented, but they've been a tougher football team, better at key spots, and been able to get the wins. I think the district runs through that game. Whoever wins that game wins the district. I think Dawson and Manville are kind of fighting for that 3 spot. I agree with you. I don't think any of the Pasadena schools, Dobie's kind of always been in the mix, and if Dobie does get in the mix, they go Division I and could push some things around. Rayburn, I think, is going to be the most improved team in the district.
I think they're going to be better.
I don't know if they're good enough to get into the playoffs, but they do run the slot T.
And you know what they say about the slot T, VNA?
It's the devil.
Thank you.
Sorry, I was trying to put myself on camera this time.
Yeah, we were trying to wake her up.
Yeah,
she's been asleep since District 3.
Going for an hour.
I want to see, by the way,
Sam Moore
notes.
just walked by here very worried.
Look at this. This is class time.
Yeah, I know. Pearland's a team that I've got some eyes on here. I really like what they have in the front 7. That defense is going to be really, really good. And when Pearland's defense is good, they usually are a problem.
11-1 last year.
Over to District 20. District 20 6A is, again, a bit of a mishmash here, where you're taking Houston ISD teams as well as Alief ISD teams and kind of smushing them all together.
Then throwing a little Spring Branch ISD for fun.
Branch,
A little sprinkle.
Trickle of...
little 9-team district here. I mean...
You got 2 district champions here.
Yeah, you got Memorial and Lamar, and I think they're the 2 teams to beat. Brooks Hack at Memorial, he's decided he's going to just coach football this year. Remember,
Wait, what was he doing?
Remember, he coached him to the state championship game in baseball.
That's right.
He was the head. He had to take over as head baseball coach mid-season.
That's right.
And so he's decided he's just going to coach football this year.
Good for him.
But Lamar, on paper, Lamar's got the playmakers and talent. But man, Memorial just had something special last year.
They did.
We'll see if they can repeat it.
That's the thing that's interesting for me is that Lamar is, as far as Houston ISD is concerned, Lamar is like the known consistent commodity. You can set your watch by it. They're going to be really, really. The Texans are going to be really, really good. Memorial last year had that breakout year. They were the breakout team of Houston ISD. First year under Brooks Hack. Flash in the pan, new normal. Like I want to see them do it again, and that's the real question for me. I think I like, even though they're going to be real young, I think I like Stratford in the 3rd spot. Stratford
and Heights played in the first round of the playoffs last year. Stratford got them. I think the roles were reversed this year. I think Heights a little more experienced. But I think those are the 4 playoff teams. I don't know if there is an A-Leaf school that can get into the playoffs, it might be Taylor.
Yeah.
But I think the 3 A-Leaf schools are going to be the 5, 6, 7 schools.
District 21 6A. District 21 6A is Fort Bend ISD and Houston Strake Jesuit, because you got to put them somewhere.
Yeah.
And there's not really, if you know where Strake is, there's not really like an obvious place to put them.
I think they're the closest in location to Spring Branch ISD.
I think so.
It really wasn't a good place. But Strake Jesuit's that floater. They're going to put them where they need them to fill the district.
The issue is when you're a 1-school district, which Strake being one of the 2 private schools, UIL can do whatever they want.
Yep.
And so they get moved into Fort Bend ISD this year. Let's talk about Ridge Point. Ridge Point is, again, on paper, one of the most loaded teams in Texas.
Yeah. For me, they were very disappointed in how the season ended for Ridge Point. They 10-0 in the regular season, looked great, and they barely won their first round playoff game, and then they just got drilled by North Shore.
Yeah.
No ifs, ands, or buts about it. I think this year it's going to be different for Ridge Point because they offensively they're going to be so young.
Yes.
But they have a great defense, one of the best defenses around. They do have their quarterback back. Here's the interesting thing about Ridge Point this year. Likely Division II.
That's right, because
they are the 4th largest school in the district, and I think Strake Jesuit is the number 2 school in the district. Now people say, well, Strake Jesuit only has an enrollment of 1,400. Well, it's all boys.
Yes.
So the UIL doubles their enrollment because all public schools have boys and girls. So when you're an all boys school, your enrollment number has to be doubled to account for the lack of girls. That puts Strake Jesuit as the second biggest school behind Fort Bend Travis. I think Jesuit and Fort Bend Travis get into the playoffs, and I think that pushes Ridgepoint into Division II, along with Fort Bend Hightower, who has a pretty high-profile addition.
Yes. Fort Bend Hightower, of course, brings in the quarterback from Iowa Colony, Carson White, taking over there.
His dad was hired as the offensive coordinator.
Yes. Yeah, it's all above board.
Yeah.
It's a big deal. It's a big deal.
It's a huge deal for Hightower.
I think
Makes
Hightower's
them a real interesting team to watch.
I agree. The other thing is,
don't we have Hightower week 1 on Rising Game of the Week?
I believe we do. We got Hightower. We got his debut. One of the other guys who'll be making a debut in this district is Kendrick Crumity, the head coach at Fort Bend Travis. I am optimistic about what they're going to be able to do this year. They lose a couple of big time playmakers, especially in the defense. But I think that they are going to be able to. He brings back a quarterback in Trace Bake, who I think they feel like can take that step.
I think they have enough to get into the playoffs.
I think that's right. And so I'm interested in seeing Kendrick Crumity, formerly of Jasper, moving over to Fort Bend Travis. Okay, over to District 22. District 22 is Katy ISD. Plain and simple. Pretty easy.
Catch all these games on Dave Campbell's Texan Live streaming.
And by the way, this is going to stun you, but at the top of the district, let me look at this. Oh, we got Katy.
Oh, what a shock.
We think Katy is going to win.
Shocking.
And look, I'm not here to tell you that, in diving in on Katy, I don't know that this is going to be one of those vintage all-time great Katy teams, but I think that this is probably the highest compliment that I can pay to the Katy ISD program that Gary Joseph has maintained from Charlie Johnston and what they've been able to do.
Mike Johnston.
Mike Johnston, yes. Charlie Johnston was at Childress. Thank
yes.
you. Is that they are going to be really, really, really rock solid and win 10 games and not even think about it. I like that, but I will say this. Defense brings back a fair amount from last year's team.
And they got a huge addition, Cade Hogg, the
right.
Texas commit linebacker moving in from Kingwood.
Yes.
So 7 starters back on defense, plus you add a Texas commit at linebacker.
Plus him. And they got a war daddy on the offensive line in Isaac Coghran, their offensive lineman, who's 6'3", 300. And it's like, all right, I feel like Gary Joseph can work with that.
The quarterback's back,
Yes.
so play action. And Tony Manuel was the backup running back last year. He takes over full-time, and they'll have another sophomore running back who runs a 4.4 and will rush for 1,200 yards.
They all do and when they run play action, they're the best play action team in America. I maintain, like they are,
Yeah.
and they all teach them like what I can only call the Aaron Rodgers guitar, where it's like holds it like that.
They run it well.
They run it really well. Yeah. Mason Hartwell is the quarterback that they're going to have there. Past him, I do think it's a bit of a jumble between Tompkins, Cinco Ranch, Jordan, maybe lump in Pato into that mix.
I think you got 4 teams fighting for 3 spots. I like Jordan as the number 2 seed. I think Tompkins is the 3 seed. Love Ethan Meadows, Blake Jenkins, the Michigan commit at corner. Here's the interesting thing, okay? And this is Division I, Division II, okay? Cinco Ranch has 47 seniors that graduated.
Yes.
They're the second biggest school in the district. Jordan's the third biggest. If Cinco Ranch gets into the playoffs, most likely, they're the team to watch.
Yes.
Cinco Ranch and Jordan. If Cinco and Jordan get into the playoffs, Katy's Division II.
Correct.
If one misses, Katy's Division I. So Jordan and Cinco Ranch are the 2 teams to watch.
And as we get ready to round out Region 3, I will just tell you, especially in Region 3, you want to be Division 2.
But Division II, I think, is going to be better than it has been. You got C.E. King, Atascocita, Hightower, Ridgepoint, potentially Katy, Shadow Creek. Region.
Yeah, but I don't want.
It's not Division I.
Yeah, it's not Division 1,
but it's still pretty good.
It's still pretty good.
It's better than it has.
I think it just speaks to the depth of talent. I think in Region 3. Speaking of Region 3, over to District 23. This is the other Cy-Fair ISD district, and these are the teams that got lumped together with teams from Lamar Consolidated ISD.
And then Waller for good measure.
And then Waller gets tossed in there as well. Although, let me tell you something. I mean,
I got Waller number 2.
I think Waller's going to be good, man.
I mean, TK Gaines.
Yes. Dog.
Yeah, TK Gaines is unbelievable. But this Cy Ranch Ball Club,
this is the year.
If there's a team that can take North Shore down in Region 3, it's Cy Ranch. They had Waxahachie on the absolute ropes last year in the third.
Waxahachie needed a miracle, basically.
And they got it.
And
And if you talk to Will Blaylock, that loss still pisses him off to this day. But Cy Ranch brings a ton back. Braden Baker at quarterback. I love Manuel Leha at receiver, the UNT commit. give us a call, VNA.
Call.
Defensively, the Vickerson kid, the defensive end, North Carolina commit. They've got one of the best offensive linemen in the country in Armani Edwards. Safety Antonio Murray is unbelievable. They got 2 Division I running backs in the pipeline. Loaded. This is the year for Cy Ranch. If they're going to make the run, it's this year.
Yes, I would agree. I think that this is the year for Cy Ranch. Everyone here, I think, is going to be able to score. You know what I mean? Like Bridgeland, I think, is going to be able
Cash
to score.
Schwab is really good at running back.
I think Cy Springs is going to be able to score as well. They really like what they have. Jared Hager at the quarterback spot.
He got hurt last year, and they had to put Paris Melvin at quarterback in a lot of games. If Hager's back, he'll be good. I think Fulsher, year 2 under Stephen Hill, 14 starters back. I like what Fulsher's bringing to the table.
Yeah, a team that last year was a playoff team as well. I think everyone in this district is going to be able to score. The question for me, and I'm not trying to pick on them, can Cy Park win a game on the field without Harold Perkins on the roster?
I hope so. I'm rooting for Cy Park.
I am too.
It's
been a rough couple of years.
They did get a win last year over College Park. It was a forfeit, but they did get a win.
They did get a win. That was a district champion side, College Park.
Yeah.
Well, how about that?
2-0.
There you go.
But yeah, Cy Park, they have not won a game on the field since Harold Perkins last played for Cy Park. And that was 2021.
I think it's been a while.
Yeah.
Okay. We'll round out Region 3 by talking about District 24, District 24, 6A.
Another Houston district, right? Let's go get after it, right? What?
Is my... Oh! So it turns out that the UIL lost their mind. I hope I get an email from Jamie Harrison.
Yeah. It's just the title's gonna be really ?
Okay. The realignment headline, I think, from go back to our February live show, District 24 6A is an Austin area district in Region 3.
It's very surprising.
Massive news. And by the way, so it's massive news simply because of the travel involved. They take Leander ISD. A lot of this comes down, and you talk to the UIL, and we talked with Jamie Harrison for our realignment special about this, and specifically talked about it. You take a look at all the Leander schools moving up, right?
Yeah.
Leander Rouse, Leander High,
Eastview,
you get Eastview, and then Cedar Park moving up. All of them moving up, kind of.
They had to create an extra district in Austin.
Exactly. They had a real pinch point. And so the only way to do that would be either to maybe swing, like shift everyone down, up a little bit or something. And suddenly then you're talking about like a 10-team district somewhere and maybe like another, it gets real messy. The cleanest way to do it, at least by the UIL's logic, to make all the puzzle pieces fit, is to have this in Region 3.
The only other option would have been to put this district in Region 2 and have them pair up with the Waco area district. Yes. But then it's like, what do you do with that? You have an odd number of DFW districts. So what do you do with 11-6A? Do you make them play Houston in the first round of the playoffs?
Right.
So I think less travel across the board, because really you're just making this one district have that significant travel.
It's the kind of thing where at first blush, I think all of us go like, holy cow, like what in the world? And then you just start to piece together all the puzzles.
You had to make an extra district in Austin because there was a couple other teams that moved up in other districts. So you just had too many teams for the 3 districts they had allotted. They needed a 4th district.
So all that's to say, Vandegrift, Hutto, Cedar Park, Eastview, Vista Ridge, Leander Rouse, and Leander, welcome to Houston.
Yeah.
You guys are honorary Houstonians.
That's why seeding in this district seeding in 24 and 23 is going to be huge, because you do not want to have to go and take that long road trip in the first round of playoffs.
There's 2 teams, I think, at the very top that really, maybe 3 teams. Certainly 2, arguably 3. One of them is a team that played in the state semifinal a year ago in Vandegrift.
And won a state championship in 2024.
Won a state championship in 2024, semifinalists in 2025. Is Vandegrift. We had the State of the Vipers address with our friend Drew Sanders. The State of the Vipers, we have been told, is strong.
They're going to be really good.
I think they're going to be pretty darn good.
Yeah, they're going to be really good.
And we start them at number 25 in our rankings, which feels like a real dip our toe, buy a little bit of stock. Now, there are questions, right? I mean, they lose Miles Tedeschi.
Yeah.
And he was so important to what they do. So important. But they feel like they're going to be moving. I think that Gavin Coaster kid, they're going to move over to quarterback.
I think he's more of a natural receiver, but I also think having him at quarterback brings that running game into play, and I think they'll be able to get creative with him if he is the quarterback.
More importantly, Vandegrift's defense, I think, is going to be really good. Drew Sanders
Just really solid.
takes a ton of pride in it. I think they're going to be really good.
Yeah.
Let's talk about the Hippos.
Yeah. Let's talk about the Hutto Hippos.
Let's talk about the Hutto Hippos, okay?
Casey Walraven.
Okay, so
What a perfect fit.
So they go. So if you missed it, Hutto the last couple of years, in 2020, heading into 2025, they hire
Eli Reinhardt.
Eli Reinhardt, the offensive coordinator, the guy who coordinated perhaps the most spectacular offense we've ever seen in Texas high school football, the 2024 North Crowley Panthers. They have a great year. They go 9-3, win a playoff game, 7-1 in district play, all good. And Eli Reinhardt, a hot young name in coaching circles, gets hired as an offensive coordinator at the D3 ranks in college. And coach, we're rooting for you. Absolutely. You got to go take that job. That's a super cool opportunity.
D2 offensive.
Yeah, D2 offensive coordinator. Thank you. So Jenny Netherland, the superintendent there at Hutto ISD, looks around and is like, boy, I do like wild-ass football. Who could I call that could provide some wild-ass football?
It fits Hutto.
So they call Casey Walraven at Alvarado.
Highest scoring team in the state. The most wild-ass team in the state.
The most wild-ass team in the state.
Yeah.
And they're like, you want to come to Hutto? And he's like, yeah, sure. Guys, Hutto's going to be really good. I think Hutto's going to be right in that mix. They bring back 15 starters. And more importantly, a lot of what they do, they fit really well with what they want to do. What's that stud receiver's name?
Jaden Fields.
Dude, unbelievable.
They're going to score a lot of points.
They're going to score a lot of points. Got to play some defense. Then there's Cedar Park. Cedar Park is fascinating to me. I think that when you take a look at what they bring back defense or bring back overall, I really like what they have. The question is going to be defensively, can they kind of hold it all together? Now, Michael Quintero, we talked with him at the Dick's Sporting Goods.
Consistent winner.
Consistent winner, yeah. Can they put it all together on the field? They are moving up though.
Yep.
That's a real question. So is Georgetown Eastview. 11 starters back. Going to be big, but I think they're going to be thin, especially.
Yes. I think you've got Vandegrift and Hutto at the top. Then I think you got Vista Ridge, Cedar Park, and Eastview, all playoff teams last year, fighting those three teams fighting for those last two spots.
Yes, I think that's absolutely right. And it's going to be, again, you're exactly right. Seeding matters because if you are going on the road for a first-round playoff game, that game is in Cyprus.
Yeah, it's you're heading.
Or that game is in Waller.
Yeah, it's a long road trip.
That's Region 3.
Yep.
Over to
Hour
Region
and 20 minutes.
Over to Region 4. Region 4. Now we're fully into Austin. Now now it feels like okay.
Yeah.
I can calm down. This is the Austin area district of Doom, where you've got, but for Lake Travis and Westlake, the two programs of record in the Austin area at the 6A level at least. Some new bunkmates.
Yeah, with Round Rock ISD now.
Yeah.
And so typically Round Rock and Leander ISD have been paired together, but with Leander having those schools move up, you can't have an 11-team district. So you got to move some folks around. And so now you get Round Rock and I think this is Westlake and Lake Travis probably like this. I think they feel like there's better competition. You lose Dripping Springs though.
That was the team that for both of them was a real legit test.
So, but I think consistently across the board, better competition week in and week out.
Lake Travis was a team that went 14-1 last year, a state semifinalist from a year ago. Hammered by graduation.
They are going to be young, but very talented, but just a lot of sophomores are going to see time for Lake Travis.
The thing is, when has them being young ever stopped Hank Carter from putting a quality product on the field?
They're going to be really good again.
Yes. I mean, their offensive line has got Jackson Koppel up front. They're going to be really, really good. Now, they lose one of the most outrageous players in the state last year in Carter Bach.
Yeah, those two defensive ends.
And Duncombe, yeah.
Yeah, they were called, I think a coach from San Antonio called them cyborgs.
Yeah, they're crazy good.
Yeah, they were really
good. So they got to replace that. It'll be a really, again, a team that's growing as the season goes on. The same can kind of be said, maybe to a lesser extent, about Westlake.
Yeah, I think Westlake brings a little bit more back. You got to replace the quarterback.
Yes.
But I think they bring back a few more pieces across the board. I give the nod in this district, at least right now, on August 12th. I'll go Westlake 1, Lake Travis 2.
Okay.
I think I give the edge to the Chaparrals.
And then, by the way, you've got this kind of then it's a Round Rock ISD fist fight for the final 2 playoff spots. And I don't know that there's a clear team head and shoulders above everyone. I like Round Rock the best.
I like Cedar Ridge.
Okay.
I'm going in on Cedar Ridge. And I'm intrigued by Stony Point, new head coach. I know you talked to Dustin Pleasant on Texas Football Today back in June. I think he's got some energy, some excitement. I think they may be a year away. I think Cedar Ridge and Round Rock. But here's the thing, right? There is this Austin Westlake, right? They are the 3rd biggest school in the district, okay? We have them going Division II because Round Rock is the biggest school. Lake Travis is the 2nd biggest school. If Round Rock somehow gets knocked out of the playoff race, that's going to push Austin Westlake into Division I.
Yes.
So Round Rock is a team to watch when you're looking at that D1, D2 split.
Over to District 26, which is kind of like who else is left?
Kind of your South Austin.
South Austin teams. And as well as Austin ISD is in this mix as well. Hayes Consolidated jumps in here as well, moving up from 6A or moving up from 5A.
Yep.
And I think that this is a situation where I just don't want to overthink it.
No, this is Dripping Springs District.
It's Dripping Springs in the field, in my opinion.
Yeah.
And look, there's reasons to be, I don't want to say concerned, but some questions about Dripping Springs for this year. After a regional final run last year, there's some reasons, like they're going to be young on the outside, basically.
They lose those 2 really good receivers.
Yes. They're going to be young on the outside. They're going to be young in the secondary. But look, they're going to be great up front in everything that they do. And I think that they're the most talented team here.
Yeah, and I think you've got, after that, I think you got 3 tiers in this district. You got Dripping Springs on a tier by themselves at the top. I think Buda Johnson and Austin Bowie are going to be kind of fighting out for that 2nd spot. And then I think you've got another tier for that 4th spot between Hayes Consolidated and Austin High.
Yeah.
I think it's going to be a real battle royale there between Austin High and Hayes Consolidated. I'm going to give the edge to Mark Torres's Hayes Consolidated Hawks.
Oh.
I think Hayes Consolidated gets that 4th.
A first year, or the first year in 6A.
Yeah.
Or back in 6A. They've been in 6A before.
They
right?
have, yeah.
Yeah, they've fluctuated.
Remember they went to the semifinals?
Oh, God.
It was 2020?
I think it was 2020.
When
Was
Les Goad got them into the semifinals.
There was that party crasher semifinal.
And then Pickle went to their semifinal game against Katy, and they got beat like 70 to nothing, and she was very mad.
Classic Pickle.
Yeah, Pickle.
Okay. We're done with Austin.
Yeah.
We've moved into San Antonio.
2-1-0.
District 27 6A is where we land. And a new look District 27 6A.
Yes. Some new teams moving up.
With some new teams, specifically San Antonio Piper. And while some teams may have gotten a soft landing from the UIL, there was no hiding where Piper was going to go.
No.
Going to go right in there to Judson ISD. Specifically, they're dealing with Cibolo Steel. They're dealing with Clemens. They're dealing with Judson.
Hey, John Walsh had San Marcos in the 3rd round of the playoffs last year. I think Piper is going to adjust well to 6A. But
I think so, too.
I think Steele is the head and shoulders favorite in this district. I was at the Steele-Johnson game last year, Thanksgiving weekend. That was clearly the 2 best teams in San Antonio going at it. I think as a whole in the Alamo City, Steele and Johnson in 6A are the 2 best teams in the city once again. And I think Steele was kind of young last year. They bring a lot of guys back. They're going to be really fun to watch.
Yeah, Steele brings back Eli Johnson, who's a safety who we're absolutely
big time.
crazy. An Ohio State commit. Marshall Kenner, the running back, was they're ready for a breakout season as well. I will say this. You mentioned it. I think Piper is immediately competitive.
I got him in 2nd place in the district. I got him as the number 2 seed.
I think they are immediately competitive in this district in 6A, specifically just because, look, I think Eddie Salas is
First year head coach.
But
he did a great job at Harlan.
I think that's the thing, is that he's got these things. He's got that experience doing that. Love what they do in the front 7. Carson Lacombe on the outside, big receiver, 6'3".
He's
big
special.
wingspan.
He's unbelievable.
He's a name you're going to want to know down there in San Antonio. So I think they're immediately competitive.
Then
it gets real murky.
Yeah, you got 4 or 5 teams there. San Marcos, Clemens, Judson, East Central, and Canyon. I think are all kind of make a case for a playoff spot.
Yeah, and then by the way, San Marcos was a playoff team a year ago too.
Third round
playoff
now they
team.
graduated heavy,
real heavy.
But and then Judson's got a new coach. We love Vernon Hughes.
Yes.
I think Judson may be a year away. East Central struggled last year, but they are super talented. Joe Hubbard likes his ball club a lot.
Yeah.
And here's the thing with East Central: if they make the playoffs, they're the biggest school in the district, so they're going to push a team. Steele's locked into Division I, so they're the second biggest school. But East Central getting in would knock someone into the Division II bracket.
Over to District 28. District 28, 6A. This is Northeast ISD?
Northeast ISD with a little sprinkling of Northside ISD.
Oh, a little sprinkling.
Yeah.
And look, I'm not going to overthink it.
This is the Johnson Jaguars district.
San Antonio Johnson.
Yeah, San Antonio Johnson is.
And we'll get to this when we get to statewide picks. My brother in Christ, I am here for Johnson.
I mean, they got 2 Power 5 receivers. They got a 3-year starter at quarterback. They've got an OU commit in the secondary, Mikhail McCreary. They were 13-1 last year and gave Lake Travis all they wanted in the 4th round of the playoffs.
Yes.
They bring a lot back. Listen, we've talked ad nauseum on this podcast and on Texas Football Today about San Antonio and Austin and how Austin has just been San Antonio's big brother.
Eating their lunch.
This might be the year.
I'm telling you.
This Johnson team.
Elvis Estrada, Mikhail McCreary, Bryson Thompson, Braylon Allen, they are overwhelmingly loaded.
They got to find a running back.
That's the question.
They got to find a running back.
If they find a running back, then it is all systems go.
I think you've got 4 playoff teams in this district. I think there's a gap between 4 and 5.
I think there's going to be 4 because normally 4 teams qualify.
Well, I don't think there's any questions here. I think Brandeis, Reagan, and Roosevelt. Mm-hmm. I think Brandeis and Reagan are kind of fighting for that 2 seed. I think Roosevelt's pretty solidly locked into the 4 seed. Clark and Madison. I think Madison got kind of snuck into that playoff spot last year. They graduated heavy. They have a new head coach. Clark graduated really heavy.
Real heavy.
So I think it's kind of a stratification there. I think you have 4 clear teams that are at the top of the district.
I think you're probably right.
With Reagan and Johnson being the 2 biggest schools going Division I, so the Stone Oak Super Bowl will be a fun time. Reagan and Johnson.
Well, okay. Let me ask you a question. Mm-hmm. How do you feel about Roosevelt?
I got them 4.
Okay.
I don't know if they're gonna be able to sneak into the top 3.
That's the question.
But I do. Roosevelt's front line, the depth is a concern with Roosevelt. They're a
thin,
small end of the 6A spectrum.
But Xavier Chambers is a quarterback. He's a big time playmaker. Yeah. Okay. Over to District 29. District 29 is now
your pure Northside.
Northside ISD. And look, last year for the first time in time immemorial, it feels like Brennan didn't win the district.
Yeah, Harlan got him.
Mm-hmm. Now, Harlan's got some questions. Not all of them on the field. They have a new coach.
Yes.
Right? A new coach, that's going to change things.
Internal promotion, though, so you reward success.
But they bring back 15 starters.
Yes.
And they're going to be good on the defensive line. I think they're going to be fast.
Yeah. Got to replace Jaivery Gran, who signed with TCU. Mm-hmm. That's a big question. They bring back more than Brennan. I think Brennan's got the better frontline talent, like their top 3 or 4 players. But I think Harlan's got a little bit better depth, especially in the trenches.
But here's the other thing about Brennan, is that go back to the way last year ended, where they gave Lake Travis fits. Everything they wanted.
13-7 game. Yeah.
Everything they wanted.
Lake Travis got back-to-back pushes from San Antonio teams last year.
And so maybe that gap has narrowed a little bit. But offensive and defensive line, I think they're going to be really good up front. Mm-hmm. How deep is Brennan is the question. Past that, brother, so two teams that I want to draw your attention to. One of them is San Antonio Sotomayor. Mm-hmm. I think that they have an opportunity to really make some noise.
They've done a good job since the school opened of kind of establishing themselves as a solid. I think they're the clear number 3 team in this district.
May I surprise you?
Okay.
Do you know who I got fourth?
Who do you got fourth?
Same team as the magazine. I like Warren.
I do too.
I like Warren a lot.
O'Connor and Taft, I think, are kind of taking a step back. I think Warren slides into that 4 seed.
I think their defense has an opportunity to be among the best in the district.
And also the other thing in this district, no Division I, Division II questions. Yes. Harlan and Brennan are the 2 biggest schools. I think they're both going to be in, so no shenanigans with Division I, Division II. But I agree with you on Warren. I like them as the 4 seed.
There we go. Into District 30. District 30, we're going to the border, and we're going to talk about Laredo, or United ISD and Laredo. We're talking about Eagle Pass, as well as
a couple of San Antonio
teams. This is where they stuck Del Rio. Mm-hmm. For those who don't know, Google, look where Del Rio is on a map, and then find the nearest 6A team. There are no good options for
I think it's actually San Angelo Central.
Yeah, I think it is.
Yeah.
But they end up kind of more or less kind of having that kind of southern swing there of connecting
it's less overall travel to go this direction.
Yes, to swing San Antonio there with Laredo and Eagle Pass. Mm-hmm. We can talk about United. We can talk about one of the very best players in the state at any level, plain and simple.
If you have not watched Colt Lozano play, you need to watch him.
Holy cow, guys!
I hope. I'm waiting for a big school to pull the trigger on him. I'm hoping, he would be the first. They had Axel Chavez a couple of years ago signed with UTRGV. I'm hoping that we can get an FBS program to generate an offer for Lozano. His numbers are insane.
They're insane, and
he's got the size and the speed. Like he passes the eye test.
Absolutely,
he's 6'2".
He's that dude, and he's the reason why I think they're the favorite in that district. One of them. I think I'm just waiting for them. Like last year, they played Lake Travis. The thing is, Lake Travis bottled him up, something fierce, and they bottled everybody up. They dominated.
Lake Travis. The problem is United couldn't block Lake Travis,
yes.
And so their quarterback for United just had no time.
Yes,
and so they just
what we need. What I'm manifesting this. I just want United in a big, high-profile game so that the whole state can see Lozano.
Yeah,
I'm manifesting. I like them to win the district.
I agree.
Past that, I think you've got two teams that feel really tightly packed. In San Antonio Southwest, up from 5A, moving up, and I'm in on Eagle Pass a little bit.
Interesting.
I like what Eagle Pass has.
Okay. I'm more of a Laredo Alexander guy.
Okay.
I think I got Eagle Pass as the 4 seed. I do think Southwest is in the mix. I like them for the 2 seed. Southwest 2 years ago was 12-1.
Yes.
Last year 8-3. They fell back. They bring back 10 starters on offense. Dre Voss, Javon Moss, Voss and Moss.
Okay,
That's like a law firm, the Voss and Moss law firm. They're also going to score a lot of touchdowns for the Southwest Dragons.
Have you been injured by in a truck wreck? Call Voss and Moss.
I'll talk to Coach Franco about that. Talk to Coach Franco about that. Yeah.
What's the thing they're always talking about of like if like your house was made of that stuff for a while?
Asbestos?
Yeah, asbestos. Yeah. That's like an asbestos.
Yeah. Also, another team, keep an eye on Laredo, LBJ. They're kind of that. They're going to be a party crasher. I think LBJ is the party crasher.
I agree. Okay, 2 more to go. We're now down in the valley. Okay,
956, baby.
And it's small districts. District 31-6A.
This was the other kind of question we had at realignment. Does the Valley get 2 of their own districts? They split a district with Laredo. They gave the Valley 2 small districts.
And you've got a district here in District 31-6A. Where and actually we'll talk about in the next one too. How about 5 of the 6 teams made the playoffs last year?
Yeah, Vela moving up from 5A, and actually Vela and Edinburgh High both have 5A numbers, but Edinburgh elected to opt them up to keep all 4 of their high schools together. I like Weslaco in this district over Vela. Vela's been a consistent winner at 5A, moving up to 6A. I think they'll be just fine in this district. Economides has been great.
Yes,
they were a doormat for a long time. They were a playoff team last year. They went 9-2 last year. They played kind of a really light non-district because they upgraded the schedule a little bit. I think it'll be better in the long haul. That battle for the 4 speed between Edinburgh and La Jolla is going to be a absolute death march.
We just a name to know. Raul Salas, the coach at Edinburgh Economides. He's done an unbelievable job.
Yeah.
If you're looking for a coach, we've got his number. Call him. I'm not trying to wish him away from Economides. Yeah. He's done an unbelievable job.
Great job there.
But that's the kind of resume that gets you noticed, and he's done a really, really good job down there. I think you're right. The top 4 I think feel pretty much like they've kind of separated themselves. Finally, last but not least,
Lower Valley.
District 32-6A. District 32-6A, there's a new kid in town, and it is the PSJ North Raiders.
Yes. #PPR.
PPR, baby. Again, by their standards last year, losing in the second round to Bernie Champion is a disappointment, but that speaks to the standards that they've set.
Marcus Kaufman's done an unbelievable job with that program. I don't think moving up to 6A is going to they bring back 30 Letterman. They're going to be really, really good, y'all. PSJ, they play a brand of football that translates and is repeatable. Rinse and repeat. They've got a system. I like them, but I think Harlingen's going to be right. I think the key for Harlingen is going to be they've got to keep quarterback Hassan Woolery healthy.
That's it.
He played as a freshman, got hurt, played as a sophomore, was never really 100% last year. I think if he can keep him healthy, Harlingen and PSJ North are clearly the 2 best teams in this district.
I think you're right. I will. Los Fresnos is really interesting. What's I don't know how to pronounce his name. Ryan Prepajal, like a super duper playmaker they've got on both sides of the ball.
They graduated a record-setting quarterback though.
Yes,
4-year starter. They got to
Robert
replace
Pineda. Yeah,
they got to replace Pineda. He was huge for them. And then you got Brownsville Vets. they all that gun tee offense they run, or I forgot what they call it. They've got a crazy name for it. It's a hard offense to stop.
Yes.
They do a great job there. I think those are your 4 playoff teams. If you're looking for a party crasher, maybe San Benito.
The question is how long is San Benito going to be down? Because last year 2-9, not their standard and stuff like that. How long are they going to be down? That's the real question mark there. Other than that, though,
it's a brief look at Class 6A.
Jaunt through Class 6A, just a bit. And now, Matthew, all we got to do is predict the dang thing. So, give me your predictions for Division 1 and Division 2 for each region and your state champion.
All right,
write these down, VNA.
6A Division 1.
Writing it down.
These are binding.
6A Division 1, Region 1. I have Allen over Coppell.
Regional finalist Coppell?
Yes.
Wow.
Division 2, I have Southlake Carroll over Denton Geyer.
Okay.
In Region 2, I have Division 1, I go Waxahachie over Duncanville.
Mm-hmm.
Division 2, I got North Crowley over Longview.
Okay.
Region 3, I have all 17 6A.
Yeah.
I have Division 1, I have North Shore over Summer Creek.
Yep.
And in Division 2, I have C.E. King over Atascocita.
Mm-hmm.
Region 4, I have in Division 1, I have Johnson over Steele. Now, all San Antonio regional final.
Oh my gosh.
Division 2, I got Dripping Springs knocking off Westlake.
Oh, interesting.
Yes.
Who did you have for Division 2, Region 2?
North Crowley over Longview. Yeah.
Wait.
6A Division 2, Region 2.
6A Division
Yes, okay,
2,
got it.
Yeah,
Region
North
2.
Crowley over Longview. In Division 2, Region 4, Dripping Springs over Westlake. And in the state championships, I'm going to go North Shore over Waxahachie.
Oh, wow.
And in Division 2, and maybe one of the most fun state championship games ever, I'm going to go C.E. King over North Crowley.
Wow. Okay, yeah, that'd be fun. That'd be
C.E. King and North Crowley in a state championship game would be incredible.
It would feed families.
Yeah.
It would feed families. Okay. 6A Division 1. I'm going to go in order of I'll go D1 first. 6A D1. Region 1, I like Allen.
Okay.
I like Allen. I do think it depends on if Coppell goes D1 or D2, but I do like Coppell.
Okay.
Division 2, Region 2. I'm gonna go with Waxahachie. It makes me nervous. I think because
Picking
it's so
against
new.
Duncanville, yeah.
Picking against Duncanville, but I'm gonna go with Waxahachie.
Okay.
Region 3, go with North Shore.
Okay.
It ain't broke, don't fix it. And Region 4, I'm going San Antonio Johnson.
Okay. All right.
And in a state championship game, I'm going to go with North Shore over Allen.
Okay.
How about that?
Okay.
How about that?
All right.
For D1. In Division 2, go with Denton Geyer.
Okay.
I like Denton Geyer. I like that defensive line. I think that's going to end up being the difference. In Region 2, I like Longview.
Oh, okay.
I'm going to go with Longview. I think
Geyer and Longview have had some fun playoff
they
games.
have had some fun playoff games. In Region 3, I like C.E. King.
Okay.
And in Region 4, give me... I think...
There's just not a San Antonio
There's
team
not.
to dream on in Division 2.
No,
They're all in Division 1.
I think... Give me Dripping Springs. I'm going to go Dripping Springs. Westlake, though, again, I think it could be Westlake.
Mm-hmm.
And in a state championship game, I like C.E. King to win it over Denton Geyer.
Okay.
C.E. King over Geyer in a state championship game. That's my picks.
Wow.
Other than that,
An
I'd
hour
have
and
nothing
40
to
minutes.
say about 6A.
We're getting yelled at to go do a commercial.
We absolutely are. Let's go to VNA Moreno briefly to tell us, hey, VNA, what'd you write down?
I wrote down too much. I very quickly. What's wrong with Allen's enrollment?
Yeah, exactly. What's going on? They're shrinking.
Coppell has the Zingman.
Oh, the
Zingelhoss.
Zingelhoss.
Single house. You had said this district feels like Mickey Mouse and.
Oh yeah, I was
Later
talking
thrown
about
in a toy bin.
Yeah, it was kind of like the whoever's left district.
All the different toys.
Yeah.
HEB as District 86A.
Yeah, 86A.
Yeah.
And the Aaron Rodgers guitar pass.
Oh, yeah.
yeah.
Katie. Mason Hartwell.
That was
Yeah.
Go watch Aaron Rodgers do play action.
Yes, that's. so funny. I hope I get an email from Jamie Harrison.
Oh, when I said
UIL.
yeah, UIL lost their mind.
And then finally, call Voss and Moss.
Voss and Moss, yeah.
Voss and Moss,
San Antonio
attorneys at law.
Southwest.
That is going to do it for us. Thanks for sticking with us for these this preview series. It's been a lot of fun.
It's been a lot of fun.
VNA, thanks for putting up with all this nonsense.
Thank you, VNA.
And Stepp, thanks for your courage.
Hey, the next episode, we're doing a game draft.
Next week, it's the week 1 game draft, baby, on Tepp and Stepp.